So a few years back, there was a fragrance that I absolutely loved, a designer fragrance that was discontinued. Unfortunately, the brand, every time they get something like that's really a gem, they discontinue it for some reason. That seems to be the case with almost all designer fragrances. But that fragrance was Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Privé. I have this small one and then a large one that is still unboxed. But it's gone for good now. It's like $200 to find online, which is not really worth that price. But I love the fragrance, and so I got a package in the other day from one of my moderators, Mo. So shout out to Mo. He sent me a few fragrances and some decants like Kajal Icon, among others. And he sent me this, and it is called Milano Prive. Apparently, it is a clone of 1 Million Privé. So I tried it on in my live stream, and I was like, you know what? That actually does smell like it. So I'm going to give you guys my full review on it, let you guys know if it is worth a pickup. So that's what we're talking about today. This is by Pendora Scents. It's Milano Prive. So without further ado, let's get it. Welcome back, my great smelling dudes. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another video where I'm going to be diving into a discontinued fragrance and letting you know if the clone that I just received, if it is worth a pickup. Before we get into the video, if you like my content, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're not. Also, everybody hit the thumbs up. It takes 2 seconds. Hit that like, comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the original one, why it was discontinued, if you were pissed about it, and if you're willing to try this out, if you've tried it out, what your thoughts are on that. But again, we are talking about an inspired by fragrance that is inspired by one of my favorite designer fragrances of all time. You guys know I love my fall and winter fragrances. This one is literally fall in a bottle. It is Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Privé. It also had the sickest looking bottle. While this is the smaller one, the larger one is a little bit cooler looking. I got this one in so I don't really like the smaller bottles, but I got it for like 70 bucks on eBay like a year ago. And so I'm trying to use it sparingly, but I want to use the small one before I get to the large one just because I like the large one better. With that said, that's not why you guys are here today. So again, Mo sent me a package with a few fragrances that looked like somebody took a samurai sword and started hacking the bottles to pieces. There was glass everywhere. But somehow the decant survived. And this one was one that I was not expecting. I didn't know he was sending it. This is by Pendora Scents. It is Milano Prive. So I'll obviously put the graphics on the screen like the bottle or whatnot as much as I can possibly find for you guys. But again, it's an inspired by, I can't say the word clone. Apparently that'll get my channel canceled. It's an inspired by version of this 1 Million Privé. So what is 1 Million Privé about? So if you guys aren't familiar with it, let's just say you got into the fragrance community too late to try it out. Well, it is my favorite from the line. This and 1 Million Lucky are my two favorites from the line. The rest of the line I can really deal without. None of them really sparked love for me. Well, I still like the original. I like Royal. They just never really sparked anything for me. Golden Nude was good though. With that said, this one's still definitely my favorite. So it's in the same realm as fragrances like Killing Angel Share, Parfums de Marly Wajan. If in fact they are actually always compared. With that said, Killing Angel Share is like a boozy cinnamon bun drink, but it's boozy. And so it's like a boozy cinnamon bun liquor. That's what that smells like. Parfums de Marly Wajan smells like an Oriental spiced pie, like a cinnamon pie. This one, it is distinctly a cinnamon cider. So I always compare this fragrance. There's a place near my house that I go up, and it's called Seven Springs. It is a mountain lodge where you can go skiing. They have Oktoberfest, stuff like that. This reminds me of when I go up there, when I go skiing, snowboarding, or whenever I go up there for Oktoberfest. They have this cinnamon apple cider that has a cinnamon stick in it. It legit smells exactly like that, minus the apple. Because the apple in apple cider, you really can't taste much apple whenever it's like really cinnamon dominant. And that one is really cinnamon dominant, just like this. This is a cinnamon dominant resinous fragrance that has a little bit of honey. It has some woods. It's definitely like a benzoin, rich, ambery fragrance. with that cinnamon dominant on top. It smells like an apple cider minus the apple, just with a heavier like richness. That's what this is. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fall fragrance. But outside of that, you can wear it in the winter for sure, but it's more for a fall. That's probably why they discontinued it, because it's a seasonal fragrance and they're not making a lot of money outside of that season. But I don't really care. I wear this sometimes during the summer just when I'm inside, just because I love the smell. 1 Million Prive is good. So again, I sprayed the Milano Prive by Pendora Scents on my live stream, and I said that it kind of smelled like 80%, 85% close to this. It doesn't have the Wajan vibes or the Angel Share vibes. You can distinctly tell as soon as you spray it on. It is cloning 1 Million Prive. If you smell 1 Million Prive, Milano Prive is definitely going to be the closest thing that I have smelled. As far as I smelled 3 different clones of 1 Million Prive. This is the one that actually reminds me of 1 Million Prive when you spray it on. But it does have some differences. You can tell there's a slight quality difference. While this was synthetic in its own right, just like it was masked very well, and it came off. It didn't come off synthetic. This one has a slight synthetic tone, but it is a $20 fragrance, so it's understandable. With that said, it also has a slight bit of freshness that this one didn't have. And while this is not a fresh fragrance by any means whatsoever, this one immediately is like super rich, super heavy cinnamon dense pie. Or cinnamon like dense like a pie, but it's more like a cinnamon cider. Anyway, this one, it has more of an airiness to it. And that's the main difference. Outside of a little bit of that quality difference, this one is, I mean, Milano Prive, it gets the cinnamon down right. It gets that cider-like vibe down right. The only vibe that it doesn't get fully intact to make this not 100% a clone, or it definitely has a slight twist, is that richness. It does get a little bit richer in the dry down. You still get a little bit of the woods. You have a little bit of that extra spice nuance that you do get in this, that seems like it's like a nutmeg or a black pepper or something. It's definitely underneath that. And then this one just has a little bit of an airiness. You still get that creamy woodiness. You still get that resinous honey-like vibe. It's really, really good fragrance. So if you're looking for something to match the energy of 1 Million Prive, but it's not going to get it exact. I mean, I'm telling you, if I smelled this and I knew it was $150, because right now if it was still out, it'd be like $150, $160 retail, and I smelled this and it was $20, I would still buy this because of that richness. That's just me, and because this is like a top 5 designer of all time for me. If you're somebody who liked this fragrance but wasn't like super in love with it and you just wanted to have something like it, Milano Prive is definitely going to do that for you. And like I said, I've had it on for about 7 hours today, and it lasted about that time. Because right now, I had to figure out where it was. Yeah, I sprayed it there. I mean, it's a skin scent. It's noticeable there, but it's pretty much weighing down. With 1 Million Prive, you get about, I'd say, 9 to 10 hours. It does last a little bit longer than that sometimes, and especially on clothing, you get a few days out of it. But with the Milano Prive, it does seem like it's more around the 7-hour mark, which, I mean, who cares? It's $20. Spray it as much as you want. Spray it on clothes. You're going to get a full day out of it. But Milano Prive by Pendora Scents, they did a very good job. It has a slight bit of like an earthy tone to it as it starts to dry down as well. Those are the only, again, main differences, but I'm just nitpicking because it is a very close interpretation of the 1 Million Prive. So, I mean, I gotta hand it to it. This is the first one that I've tried that did come close. It has that cinnamon cider. I'd still say it's about 85%. It has that slight airy vibe. It's not as rich. Again, then there's a slight bit of a earthy tone as you get to the dry down, but I think it's coming from like an earthy lavender. That's what I'm guessing, is they're trying to mask the way that the aromatics work in this fragrance, which are kind of nuanced, and it's just in this one it comes a little bit more prominent through the mid into the dry down. But yeah, I'm just beating around the bush because Milano Prive, it smells like 1 Million Prive just with a twist. And if you're okay with that, then good. If you still want to try, if you want this and you want exactly this, You're not going to get it with this, but you're getting close enough to, are you going to end up spending the 150 to 180 on eBay to get the big one of these? Or are you just going to buy this for 20 bucks? That's your decision. If it's a love for you, I would still go with this one. If it's not a love for you, I would just go with the Milano Prive. It's definitely worth it. But you know, I've never been a huge clone guy. I'm not against clones whatsoever. It's just like I won't buy a bottle of this just because I don't need to. I have a bottle and a half of the other one, and I wear it sparingly. So with that said, yeah, Milano Prive, I would say it's about an 8 to an 8.5. Well, I've always considered this a 9.5. So, I mean, it's up there. It's just, it doesn't do it exactly the way that I like. But it's close enough to the point where I'm just nitpicking, and as soon as you spray it, it's the closest fragrance that you will get to 1 million Prive without spending a butt ton of money. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much. Let me know what y'all think about it. Again, it's a fall fragrance, and it's more of a night out fragrance, but during the fall and winter, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another video. Peace out.